Hello and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. This video is going to be why I am not zero waste and why I prefer low waste, and I am certainly by no means great at this yet. Zero waste is practically impossible, and even so, if you ignore the waste that goes into the product, you have already failed. So this is known as the waste upstream, and there is often a very restrictive to very little waste to find this information. So essentially with the upstream, the waste upstream, for every 1 kilo of waste that you produce from your own household, there is 7 to 10 kilos of waste produced in the upstream. This type of information gives me really great perspective on the unreality of those tiny little trash jars. While you need to do the best you can, sometimes a zero waste lifestyle is presented as quite exclusionary, and as if you cannot do the trash jar, you failed. But again, it's very hard to do this. There are reports that farmers market sellers are in fact buying from mass producers and are reselling at farmers markets for a premium. So even within the industry, there are issues. So in Australia, plastic bags and straws have been banned, but there are also plastic bottles in both water and in soft drink and in juice even. And there is plastic packaging over vegetables and in the vegetable section, which means petrol and petroleum. Again, this is the upstream. So even with local clothes makers and not fast fashion, where are they buying their fabric and how are they getting their fabric to their house or business? I also find that with buying bulk food, organic purchases and household items and goods and ethical fashion, there is an expensive price to be paid, or a premium to be paid, which means that it is quite often out of reach of many low to medium income earners and therefore their children and families. Also, so much plastic packaging is in bulk food. They I go to the bulk food store, and the bulk food is stored in plastic containers with plastic handles, and they're not glass containers or glass jars. The cookies are nice and neatly packaged in the glass jars on the container, but all of the bulk food, like you get your lentils out of a plastic container. Even if I bring my own containers, what about the upstream? What about packaging? How did the lentils get to that business? On top of that, I don't have a bulk store near me, which means I either have to drive or catch a bus or catch an Uber to get there and to get back, which means I'm using petrol and wasting petrol when I can go to the shop down the road and I can walk to the shop down the road, collect as much plastic-free and package-free stuff as I can and not use that petrol. Also, there's like electronic waste. So I notice a lot of low waste YouTubers have a significant amount of phones, computers, and electricity usage for all these types of things. And same as me, I have all of this stuff. I have a camera and a phone and a tab and a computer that I all use to do this. I have lights and lighting. So I think of the bigger context of this, and so I'm trying the best I can with what I have and what I can do and what is available, and I'm not going to shame anyone for doing their best. But that's also why I'm not having a trash jar, and also why I'm not saying that I'm going to be zero waste, because it is not the truth. And it will never be the truth. And I think using a trash jar is shaming people who aren't able to do that. I'm trying to lower my waste every day and use less plastic packaging every day, and live a more sustainable life without compromising my ability to travel or move or be able to camp and carry my food. Also, I notice that a lot of European people are saying we don't fly anymore because we can catch trains or catch vehicles. I live in an isolated country where to get out of my country I need to fly. There is no such thing actually to get from where I live to other parts of my country. To get to the other side of my country, which is where the bulk of the population live, it's a 5.5-hour flight. That's just to get the next capital from my capital is a 3.5-hour flight. It is not conceivable. The trains don't exist in the way that they exist in Europe. It's not a conceivable way of mobility here. It's not a conceivable way of travel here, and it's not an affordable way of travel here. So, yeah, that is essentially why I'm not zero waste, and why I do not use the term zero waste, and why I'll never have a trash jar, and why I'm not interested in producing a trash jar to essentially shame other people into doing it. The reality is that everybody needs to try and live their best life, and that's not going to happen when they're shamed into doing anything. So, yeah, that's my answer. Have any questions? The usual rules apply. My contact details are in the notes for this video. You can always comment below or contact me via Twitter, Tumblr, email or Instagram. Outside of that, you guys know what to do. Bye.